this is what we need in the economy.
Yeah.
In fact, I had been made to realize that we needed our petrochemicals refinery to work, to produce. So that way we're importing less and then we're exporting more.
So we can also look at the possibility of exporting petrochemical products.
No, that is the major. That is the major focus of Dangote refinery.
Oh.
Very soon we're going to be exporting fertilizer. So that is the major thing about it. You reduce imports, of course. You know, what the federal government has always been concerned about is that, look, how do we reduce imports? You know, that is it. But we say, look, we reduce by producing more.
Okay.
So we're happy that petrochemical plant is on stream now. So that is one of the things from the zero oil plan.
Okay, let me just quickly ask, how long are we expecting the petrochemical plant to come to fruition?
And I believe by next year it's online and will start. I think the fertilizer end is the one coming up shortly, and it will go. So then we reduce buying fertilizer and then we can now start exporting, and that's a good thing about it. Then when you look at cocoa, for instance, now in where we're calling for increased production and productivity all across the sectors, we're doing less than 300,000 metric tons of cocoa in Nigeria, which is really sad. Now Ghana is almost on 1 million metric tons. Cote d'Ivoire is on almost 2 million metric tons. But when we look at the lifeline of the economy of Nigeria in the past, because we're an agrarian economy, so that was our lifeline. I mean, Western region was developed on cocoa. So it is sad that we're not producing as much. So that is the basis of all the things, all the 22 sectors we put across for the zero plan. And that is what we've been doing. Now, we're basically an incentive agency. That's Nepc. We provide incentives for exporters so we can assist them in so many ways. We've been only running one, which is the export, which is a post-shipment incentive scheme that we run, meaning that we leave you alone. You go and do everything you want to do. You struggle with the custom, with
duties, taxes,
everything, exporting your goods and everything. But when you remit the money back into the economy, then you get different categories of incentives that you will use. So that has been what Nepc had been known for. But also in the Act, in the Nepc Act, we have what we call the Export Development Fund. Okay. And that was to really regenerate the MSMEs, SMEs, to assist them in a pre-shipment kind of incentive, so they can get into the export market.
Okay, let's quickly look at other aspects now, so we don't dwell too much on that. The African Continental Trade Agreement and the place of Nigeria in Africa, these are particular aspects that has to do with boosting export. Can you throw more light on this?
Yeah, we welcome the African Continental. It's big for Africa. It's the biggest free trade zone in the world. It's going to the GDP of that is about $3 trillion. Population of 1.2 billion people. It's huge, and we're so happy that has opened up Africa for us. Now, of course, the fear about that is that, will we become a dumping ground? That was the fear. That was fair for our manufacturers, for some of our industrialists. And so we had to go through the president reordered another round of sensitization and working that, look, let's get this right. Let's let our people know that no. Because, of course, our economy is largely an import-oriented economy. We import a lot and we generate a lot of money on that. The customs would always tell you we generated this from this end of our this sector, this zone. We generated this, and but again, I say that is when you are not looking at trade holistically. The customs service is really not a revenue generating agency. It's a trade facilitation agency.
Oh, okay.
And when you sign all these agreements now, with duty-free things coming to Nigeria, then they're not going to be able to generate that revenue strand for you anymore.
Okay.
So what do? You must export.
But is that positive? Is that not supposed to be negative for?
No, it's not. At the end of the day, it cannot be negative, because when you build, the goal of NEPC now is to build an army of exporters.
Okay.
When you build your army of exporters, and we are taking our products and goods all over, then we're generating that foreign exchange that our country so badly needs.
Okay.
And that is in fact, the whole thing about it is how to generate foreign exchange.
So, in other words, the huge sum generated by the customs service doesn't necessarily mean it's directly impacting on the economy positively.
Because it's on foreign exchange.
Okay. All right, that's interesting to know. Now, let's talk about the steering committee we mentioned earlier in the introduction, that was recently launched by the Minister of Trade and Investment, the 50 billion naira export expansion facility program. How soon can Nigerians begin to see the dividends of this plan and this committee?
Okay, yes. This is the federal government reacting to the the impact of COVID on our economy. And if you recall, President Buhari launched that economic sustainability program. It's a 2.3 trillion naira program that the federal government launched. A part of it is we made a case for a boost, a stimulus, a boost for exports. And it's a 50 billion naira federal government allocation for the export expansion facility program. Now, it is run under a standing committee, which is chaired by the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. We have some institutional members there, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, the NASIMA is also a member. We have private sector also with us there.
LCCI?
Pardon?
LCCI, Lagos Chamber?
No, well, they're under NASIMA.
NASIMA, okay.
So when you have the parent body with us.
Body.
Yeah. So the whole idea of this is to provide some support mechanisms and incentives to enhance the quality and quantity of exporters that can penetrate the global market with competitive products that have globally acceptable certifications and meet required standards. So it's a broad thing that, look, how do we, Segun, this your army of exporters you want to build.
Yes.
How do we do it? What support do we need? And so we give them. So this is...
Yes, that quickly brings to mind the challenge of, for instance, the cost of production, which has always been the bane for exporters or manufacturers here in Nigeria. Is there any intervention from NEPC in that regard?
Oh, there are various
issues like double taxation, cost of production, and so on.
No, there are so many things happening along the line. First, on our zero oil plan, on our own strategic plan, and on this COVID relief, which is really a stimulus. Is federal government pumping money in to stimulate and regenerate the economy. Because the president was very clear, sitting with us, that the number one thing he's concerned about is, look, Segun, how many jobs are you going to be able to save? Then how many new jobs are you going to be able to recreate with this program? And so And I told him then, I said, oh, Mr. President, you're giving me a new hashtag for this program, because our hashtag was from pandemic to
Okay.
So what is going to happen is that we are going to we're running a process now that we're using technology as our best friend. We have a grant management portal system. So you apply,
3 minutes to break time.
and then when you qualify, you get what federal government, what I call the Buhari alert. You get your Buhari alert, and you can go forward. But also in that case, we now identified various things that it's not only that when we throw money at you that we can expect results,
immediate results.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is an intervention. The work plan presented to the federal government, which was accepted, of course, there is an intervention to support existing businesses that are affected by COVID, which is the main thing the economic sustainability plan is all about. But also that we now put money to develop the Export Development Fund I told you about, which is a pre-shipment incentive for SMEs, MSMEs. Now, that has been concluded, and we had over 3,000 applicants for that. We streamlined some 2,200. 1,103 went through the second stage. And we are going to be, the ministers approved that. It's run by a board of trustees, which I should chair, but the ministers approved that. So, like I said, they will be receiving their Buhari alert shortly. Now, we also have promoting women inclusiveness under this program, which we're going to identify women-owned businesses under our key priority sectors. I told you we have our sectors under the Zero Oil Plan. We're going to be doing that. Then we're going to be looking at domestic export warehouse and aggregation centers. Now, the idea is that provision of critical export infrastructure.
So that like export wells now, is that what it's supposed to mean, or a title for that project?
No, it's domestic export warehouse.
Okay.
And aggregation centers.
Okay.
So to look, you bring your goods from Kano and you're going all the way to Lagos Port, and look at the congestion and to get there, and then the problem you face at Apapa port.
Okay.
So if you have this domestic export warehouse all across the country, let me give you an example. You have one in on the way in Oyo State, somewhere. So you just drop your goods there. That is where it's processed. That is where customs are also looking at it. NAFDAC is checking it. SON, Standard Organizations of Nigeria, is looking at it. And then it's sealed in a container. And from there, the Federal Road Safety is also accompanying it. And it's going straight
to
the ship, not even to the port.
Okay.
It's going straight to the ship.
It cuts off
all that. So we're also looking at that.
Any correlation or similarity with inland dry ports and so on?
Those qualify as well as domestic export warehouses. So that is what you do all along that line. Then we were also looking at export infrastructure and aggregators. We're looking at for years the NEPC has run common facility centers on share, on cashew, on fashion to develop it. So we're also going to put more money in that. We're also looking at training our youths.
Okay.
We have a youth export development program. We're working with the Ministry of Youth and the National Youth Service to see, let's reorient our youths into looking at the export business, at entrepreneurship.
All right.
So we're looking at that.
All right, sir, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm beginning to get signals that we need to go on a short break so that we can get some messages. But when we come back, we'll still look more into other aspects that we are yet to touch.
Okay.
If you just joined us, the program is Have Your Say, coming to you live on the network service of Radio Nigeria. Today, our guest is the Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Nigeria Export Promotion Commission, NEPC, Mr. Segun Awolowo. Don't forget, you can join us after the break to contribute on the program. We're also streaming live on www.facebook.com/Radio Nigeria Network, or simply go to the website Radio Nigeria. For YouTube, just go via Radio Nigeria Have Your Say. That is in one word, Radio Nigeria Have Your Say, with every word starting with an uppercase. And the line to call is 0807 622 6771. If you're unable to get through us by calling, just send an SMS or a WhatsApp message to 0705 864 2473. After the break, we'll talk about the implications of Forex in the business of export. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Mr. Segun Awolowo. Don't forget, like we said earlier, the lines are open now. You can call on the program 0807 622 6771, and for SMS 0705 864 2473. You can also join our live streaming on www.facebook.com/Radio Nigeria Network, or simply go to the website Radio Nigeria. Yes, we have our first caller.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
I don't know, calling from just.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good morning to your guest. You are spoken very well. My worry is this. We just have to move away from being a raw-based economy to a processing-based economy, which will bring about industrialization and which will in turn create jobs and also enable us to be able to export finished products, which will earn us foreign exchange as well. Now, you can imagine, when the stories I've been following, we have cocoa, wheat, sugarcane, yam, tomatoes, and mineral deposits, such as gold and the rest of them. But even when we attempt to export, we export them in their raw state. And that means exporting jobs. So this intervention your federal government is doing now, that your guests talk about,
yes,
it's encouraging. But the problem now is, how much are people giving out? What is the range? How long will they stay before they will be made to pay back? I hope it's not for free, because when you say it's for free, it will be a problem. It can't be grant. People will just, think you give the money to them, marry additional wives or whatever. But all the same, let's not give up in this country. We'll get it right sometime Sunday. God bless you.
All right, he'll answer that. Let's see if we can take more calls, then we'll come back to our guest. Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello, you're on to Have Your Say. Okay, while we wait for that caller, I think we can get a response to the contribution by Ada Onogo from Jos. I'm sure you heard what she was talking about.
Yes, I did. Okay. Thank you, Ada, for that. Yes, first thing, let me clear your mind of that. This is not a grant for exporters to take a second wife or buy a new car. No, it's not that. We're running it with a beneficiaries charter. And there's an M&E framework that guides you along the way for this. Governments must provide this kind of incentives to boost trade and help their citizens.
Okay.
So that is that. But the second one on it is the zero oil plan, particularly under the Nigerian Industrial Revolution plan. It's not to export just raw materials. We're going into a lot of processing.
Okay.
Is it cashew? Is it cocoa? Is it ginger? And that is the basis of the zero oil plan.
Okay. Let's quickly hear from this caller.
Okay.
Hello? Hello, are you there?
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
Oh, thank you for holding on. Go ahead, your name, location, and go ahead.
I am Comrade Mazi Patrick Okoroka from Akane in Arochukwu, Abia State, Nigeria. Good morning, our guest. Good morning, our brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I want to call on the Nigerian government as a matter of urgency, encourage states and Abuja to tap and harness their own natural resources where they have competitive advantage in order to boost their IGP. depending on the federal government oil proceed, does not make any usefulness for us. See Saudi Arabia, now they are now into tourism. According to Saudi, by 2030 to 2035, the oil price will just come down to 55 kobo. Look at the gas flaring plant at One being wasted. And we have chemicals, chemical engineers, environmental technology engineers, graduates being wasted. Why? Doing nothing with their own technological knowledge. Now, I'm asking our guests, we have what we call modular refinery, which has been approved since, and the licenses the government are supposed to, they're supposed to look at those boys that have been arrested on the creek that they are doing the government, give them the license and encourage them, give them surplus to tap all those things and make it useful to Nigeria. Now, can you tell us now, why is it that today in Nigeria, 12 kg of gas is around 4,000, 5,000, which is not healthy, and we have crude oil in Nigeria just being wasted. Three ladies don't work what is happening in Nigeria. What do we do? Kerosene is no longer to be seen in Nigeria. Kerosene is not a hot cake. If you happen to get the kerosene, that is why I see today, this is the frustration going on in Nigeria. Trees that are supposed to help us prevent wind, not to carry up people's roof, are being wasted. People are using as firewood, which is not healthy. Now, what do we do? The gas flaring, what is it taking the federal government to make sure people make use of that gas? Make use of that gas so that
Chief Patrick, we need you to round up.
Thank you very much. I'll be president of Crop of Patrick's my name from Awolowo in Abia State, Nigeria.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Patrick. My own focus is really on non-oil.
Yes.
So all that you said about gas and oil, I mean, it has to be taken on another level. My pay grade is not that high yet.
All right, let's quickly see.
Anyway, but let me answer you on that. We were particularly interested in the wealth of the states, and we know that the wealth of Nigeria is really in the states. We're running what we call a one state, one product, meaning that we ask each of the states to at least give us one product to develop for export.
Okay.
But many states have more than that. And we're running it through, we have a National Council for Export Promotion. It's a NEC committee. That's the National Economic Council chaired by the Vice President. It has 36 state governors there. So we're running that with them. Many states are bringing many products, and we're working to develop and help them, particularly in production, increased production and productivity, and then processing.
Are there states that are bringing more than one? Are they
yes, it's just an acronym to say.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Chief Jude.
Yes, Chief Jude,
I
go
come
ahead.
from Imo State.
Yes, go ahead.
I enjoy Nigerians to be patriotic enough. I use the word of a one-time American president when he said, think of what you can do for your country and not what your country can do for you, to contribute their quota to national development. Together with the words of my late uncle, who is a nationalist, Black Bono Jike, when he said, and I quote, it is better to judge than to war, to jettison all manner of peace-making activities like terrorism, incidents, trade to sedition, abduction of our innocent school children, armed robbery and others, as I cannot be any meaningful development without that much trade design of peace.
All right.
I am joining leaders of faith-based nations to preach more of morality and prosperity that lures mostly our youth to engage in gateway syndrome, like trafficking and corruption, abduction of our innocent school children, financial, armed robbery and others that can lead to the untimely death or affect their career and adversity. Together with maybe resulting to make the protest and pray to selection.
Chief Jude, we need you to round off now. You're going into crime in our society. Of course, we know that we don't want Mr. Awolowo explaining again that it's way above his pay grade and so on.
Let me. I share his nationalistic views about what we can do. Really, it's what we can do for our country, and that's why I'm actually in public service. That's my own legacy. That is what I believe in. But let me say, the only way really to try and solve many of these problems, it's all economical. We need to create the jobs. we need to grow the economy. We need to produce more. We need to increase productivity. And that's my clarion call all along what we're doing. When we build this army of exporters, it goes all the way from the farm to the boardroom tables, because then you are producing more, you are growing more, and then there's a market for it.
All right, let's take this call. What we'll do is to take more calls, then we'll respond to them.
Good morning.
Hello, yes, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Nasir Usman Rawaya, MD Rawaya Cafe from Gusau, Zamfara State.
All right, go ahead, sir.
All right, I'm saying I highly welcome to Mr. Segun Awolowo.
Yeah.
He's discussing about overview of the federal government implementation process of 50 billion naira export expansion facility program. So that's a wonderful and welcome development in our dear Nigeria country. So I'm applauding the federal government of Federal Muhammad Buhari for the development that is they are bringing development to us, and it is a welcome achievement. My question to special guest is that pertaining survival fund. I have been one of the beneficiaries of survival fund, and I received my palliative almost 3 times. So one of my co-worker also received her own for the 4th time. So the question is that, should I expect the 4th payment? That's the question of Nasir Usman Rawaya, MD Rawaya Cafe from Gusau.
That's if you should expect
Radio Nigeria.
If you should
I got his question.
Okay. Oh, yes, hello. Let's see if we can take more, then we come back. Hello? Hello?
Call the number again.
To my brother from Gusau, yes, if you're an exporter.
Good morning.
Let's quickly take this call. No problem. We'll come back to that. Yes, good morning.
My name is Mohammed Sanumon.
Mohammed.
Yes, I must commend the MD of Nigeria Export Promotion Council. You are doing a very good job. We've been following your activity. However, we have a project that can employ a whole lot of Nigerians and encourage them about export. But the difficulty has been how to present it to you, and that has been up. So we want to have your WhatsApp number. Maybe we can send it to you, or we'll do online presentation, or email, or any other way we can see it.
All right. Mohammed, where are you calling from?
I'm in Abuja.
Okay, he's here in
Area
Abuja.
11.
Okay, that's even easy. Mohammed, just come to NEPC.
At what time?
Come to our office at Agui in Ronsi in my time.
I know the office.
Then
I just
so
want to
you
have
come.
an appointment.
No, it's not that kind of office. So
It's an open door.
It's
You
an
can come.
open door policy. You, as there are many directors, if I'm not there, they will see you. But then you can send an email. That's CEO at nepc.gov.ng. CEO at nepc.gov.ng.
And you're sure to get it.
That's yes. We reply emails. Now,
Okay.
let me thank you for that. Let me quickly answer my brother from Gusau that listen, you can understand what the federal government is trying to do is to put money into the hands of its citizens to regenerate the economy, and that's why you're getting the MSME funds, you're getting the survival funds, you're getting the salary funds, there is the creativity funds. In fact, the government is doing so much to try and do this. There's also trader money that was going around to market women all over the country. Yes. Now, for this particular one, it's reserved only for export companies, and it's for the export sector. So it's not like there is some money that federal government is just dashing out, and it's run under a grant management portal system where you apply. We do sensitization, we do adverts. You apply, on the portal. The computer takes your application. We vet it. It goes back to a board of trustees to look at it. We employed some enablers to verify all these applications, So that is how it's going. So it's really reserved for the export community.
Yes, you were trying to respond to Nasir Usman's question about survival funds.
Yeah, that's what I just... Yeah.
Then I think we were still talking about contribution by Judo Buaja. Okay, you've responded to that.
Yes, I responded to that.
Let's see if we can take messages from our social media portal, particularly WhatsApp here.
Okay.
Mustafa from Abuja says, good morning. The EEFP is indeed a wonderful initiative by Oshibajo's NESP. Before now, do we have data profile of our exporters and what they export, especially the agricultural products, or it's just now that the government is creating a portal? So that's, you can note these questions. I hope you remember them. Then we have Nasiru Usman Rawaya from Gusau, Zamfara State. He says, I want to applaud President Muhammadu Buhari for a great achievement in all aspects. Please, Radio Nigeria, help me ask the special guest that now that the federal government banned transacting of dollar except in the banks, can our oil price change, or what improvement shall we expect? So that was the matter we promoted just before we went on the break, the issue of Forex and the new policy by the CBN MTF. Yahaya Wada says, in words of the Vice President, the ultimate aim of the Export Expansion Facility Program as an intervention following the devastating economic effects of COVID-19 to exporters and MSMEs in Nigeria will be to save jobs, create jobs, support resilience, ensuring up foreign exchange, diversification, modernization of Nigeria's economy, and acceleration of economic growth and economic support. Highly commendable. Okay, this is a commendation from Yahaya Wada. Dami from Abuja says, good morning. I would like to say that the EFP program is very good, and thank you to Mr. Awolowo for that explanation. I hope Nigerians take advantage of this opportunity, because I will be taking this opportunity seriously. Seriously in capital letter. Good morning, sir, and congratulations on your appointment as president of the ECOWAS TPO. Thank you for doing Nigeria proud. Oh, that's just a simple commentation. This is coming from Prince Bernard from Utako here in Abuja. It says, sir, considering that Nigeria more than ever now require other sources of revenue beyond crude revenue, the implementation of the Zero Oil Plan, which birthed the 50 billion naira EEFP grant, is a right track in this overdue direction. What is the plan to ensure an effective succession plan of the continuous implementation of the Zero Oil Plan, even beyond your time in office, especially as expectations are that there should be strategy to ensure continuity of such laudable feats? This is from Emmanuel AC from Maitama, Abuja. Let's see if we can take one more of the messages, then we go back and see if we can respond and take calls. What do we export when we do not... what do we export when we do not even have enough to be distributed to our people in all regions? Have we maintained standards first within before thinking of going to the world? How sure are we that the world will accept our standards? How easy or less stressful have we made our products to be exported by our citizens rather than preferring foreigners take over our items turned into theirs and return back to us at higher rates? That is talking about export of raw materials and then come back as processed materials. Okay, last message here. Good morning. This is Vicky from Abuja. It says, I want to commend the federal government for this wonderful program. The Export Expansion Facility Program is expected to significantly raise the volume of export. Yes, to raise the volume of export. This is massive. Kudos to the federal government and the Economic Sustainability Plan chairman. Okay. So that's it for our messages, at least the number we can take.
Okay.
Now back to you, sir. I hope you
remember them. I got them.
Okay,
I will
good.
quickly go through
them.
Yes, on data, the very first message on data for our exporters. Yes, we do. and just visit our website. It will give you more information on that. nepc.gov.ng. It will give you more information on that.
Okay.
But what is happening so far along the line is that this will also help us in getting more data for our exporters. In fact, running this program, we had to pause it for some two to 3 months to do a very effective M&E framework to guide us along this program.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
To guide us on this program. So at the end of the year, we're going to have data on all our exporters, what product they're exporting, what sector they are. We're even concentrating on identifying women-owned businesses because there is different support that the federal government is providing for them for inclusive growth. So we're going to get that with this data we're accumulating now. It's very interesting. Now, again, like I said, the major problem, I even say that the main problem we have in Nigeria is how to generate foreign exchange. And that's why the Central Bank of Nigeria is struggling with so many interventions, so many things. It's just to show up this foreign exchange, to keep out as an affordable rate. But the problem is, I say, you just must export more. That's all.
Yes.
For you to get this foreign exchange.
Okay.
It's
Simple.
no magic that all the Asian economies, the Asian so-called tigers, made a decision. China made a decision right from day one that, look, I'm going to be an export economy. Simple. And when you look at the trajectory of the Chinese economy over the years,
yes,
and that is how it happened. They were not a major exporter. They were not a major producer, but they set their mind that this is what is going to happen. The Prime Minister of India said it one time that India must export or perish. It was that bold, he said, that told them that the trajectory of the whole economy must just change. Look, we must just become an export-led economy rather than an import-driven economy. You know, I had this conversation with Mr. President, and he said, okay, Segun, how long do you think it will take for Nigeria to become an export-driven economy, led economy? I said, Mr. President, you tell us that you must decide, that you say, look, Nigeria government, in 10 years, I want to make $30 billion from non-oil export. Then let everybody go and work towards it. And I gave him the example when President Kennedy told America that we must put a man on the moon. NASA had no plan then.
The infrastructure
Yes,
wasn't.
there was nothing. But he said, look, we must put a man on the moon by this time, because the Soviets were already doing it.
Working on it.
And so everybody galvanized to it. So I said it's the same way. We must just produce more. And that's what the Zero Oil Plan is all about. It's 22 sectors that you grow in production and productivity. And then we can have goods to send. Now, it takes me to the other question that the gentleman asked. And I must tell you, look, there are other things apart from just raw materials that we're also looking at export of services, which is big for our economy, particularly Nigeria. And that's going to be our strength in the African Continental Free Trade Area. That's going to be our strength, export of services. The other gentleman wanted to know about continuity. Yes, this is an establishment. So even if I'm not there, there's somebody is going to be there to continue all these programs. And even the Zero Oil Plan is now under the National Economic Council that is being run. So these things, government is making sure that we put these things down, so it can continue. on that our goods meet standard or don't meet standard. Yes, there are various standards that you have. For standards in West Africa and Africa, really we have no problem. Some standards we have meeting are international ones. But then I must tell you, some of them are even like tariff, we call them non-tariff barriers. They put on some of our things because we are not part of this agreement. Okay. For instance, we didn't sign the economic partnership agreement with the EU, but other West African countries signed. So like Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire signed, and they signed because of their cocoa. Cocoa is in Ivory Coast what oil is to Nigeria. That is their major export, and that's their major revenue thing they do. So they had to sign, but we didn't. So we get some non-tariff slap on the hand on all this. Okay. We are complaining. We don't. Our products have really improved in standards. And when you see what is being produced and manufactured all across this country, oh my God, look, for me, the future is just orange. It's just bright. Because look, our market is really the whole of Africa. From interland Africa relies so much on products from Nigeria. We see it. We're about to open our trade house in Lomé. That is the hub for intra-Africa ECOWAS trade into the interland Africa.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So we know our goods have no problem.
Okay. Let's see. We have other callers still trying to get through to contribute just before we round off. Maybe we can take just two. Hello. Your name, location, and go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Elaine Daniel.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, you are speaking with Nasser Hussein Kurgune Gonjo from All Market Zamfara sir.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you for, I guess, you are highly welcome to this program. Happy I say.
Yes.
Yes, sir, you are speaking very well, actually. And then you are doing all this because of citizens. That's Nigeria. And then all people in Nigeria, they are no doubt, Mr. President, are doing something, all this because of people. So we need everything become transparency here in this country in Nigeria. Because it becomes with any plan or program the federal government. If you don't have anybody here, you can't get anything, especially in masses.
All right, Nasser, we need to round up.
Why is supposed to be do is that? Mr. Daniel,
yes.
Before I go, I want to advise the because these community people that stay in the rural area, they are not even hear you through this local, because this program is English program. We need to be jungle so that the people to understand all these. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Nasiru. Yes, one last call, then we come back to round off. Hello. Okay, if we don't have any. Yes, but very quickly as we round off, let's just discuss implications of the COVID-19 pandemic and what Nigerians should expect even as the years go by.
Yes,
Okay, let's take this call, last call. Sorry, I apologize for that.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead.
Happy that I've gotten this line today, national program. I am Yakubu, from Kwali, visually impaired farmer. That is blind farmer from Kwali.
Wow.
I come to represent my community, that is persons with disability, 6 area councils, 62 wards, 858 villages. Based on the explanation of my horrible and humble guests there, we, the persons with disability, cut across nooks and crannies of the SCT, all what was explained by the Director General. In fact, we are outrightly out of it. Number 1, traders' money. Number 2, survival fund. Number 4, and special whatever. To be frank, we are not being taken along.
All right,
so I am very, very grateful. I don't know whether his humble guest there will do well, maybe for me to see him one-on-one. To be frank, all what is happening in the federal government program is not reaching we, the vulnerable ones, at the grassroots.
All right, thank you.
I'm representing my community, persons with disability. I don't know this.
All right, thank you, Yakubu. Thank you. Yes, back to you now, Mr. Awolowo.
Okay,
just in a few
things. Let me thank Yakubu for finding time to dial in. Indeed, we at NEPC, we worked. In fact, I engaged with the union, the National Union for People with Disability, and we have 1 or 2 programs we're trying to do to help them in terms of capacity development. But I have the contact of the national president. I will reach out to him. I find it very difficult to believe that COVID relief has not reached them in terms of MSME funds, in terms of survival funds, in terms of salary thing that it's happening. So I will reach out to that. On COVID, look, this is very important that we so far, I don't think it's luck. I think it's deliberate work of the federal government that has helped us on this, on keeping these COVID figures down. Because, at the onset, everybody thought it will be really bad for sub-Saharan Africa, but we've been able to manage. And now, going out of it is this economic thing, the sustainability plan that the federal government has, and that is very important to do. So I thank you. I know we didn't have enough time
yes.
for exports, and for me to talk about my zero oil plan. You need a whole day with me.
Probably in the future we'll still have you on the program, I believe.
Okay.
So that we can do more talk.
Okay.
So that's our guest today on the program. Have your say. The Executive Director, CEO of the Nigeria Export Promotion Council, NEPC, Mr. Olusegun Awolowo. We do